decision win over Jose Luis Rodriguez.
Now he's dominating Rodriguez, so it's really hard to determine when you get a different guy in front of you. When you got a guy who's not punching back, you could throw combination punches in succession, which is what he was doing, and dominating his opponent, and of course he won that bout.
So, John, we've got about a minute and a half here. Let's get your official prediction for tonight's main event. Who wins and how between Jeff Horn and Terence Crawford?
Well, I'm going to agree with the odds makers this time. Terence Crawford, I think, has a little too much ring savvy, too much experience. I think he's a better all-around fighter, higher boxing IQ. Having said that, weird things happen in boxing. Sometimes weird things happen in Vegas. But this time, Horn's not fighting before 50,000 people who are his countrymen, right, like he did against Pacquiao. So he's going to have to really demonstrate. He's not going to win a decision. I don't see him outboxing Crawford. He's got to stop Terence Crawford, and that's going to be a tall order because Terence Crawford is a terrific defensive fighter and an excellent counter puncher.
Well, Jeff Horn is bigger, he is stronger, and he's a massive underdog. He's a plus 550 underdog, so you want to win some money if you really believe in the Aussie, now's your opportunity. But to be fair, people were saying pretty much the same thing about him when he fought Pacquiao. He's not good enough, he's not technical enough, he's not quick enough, and he got that win, although it was certainly very controversial. Well, thanks for joining us here on the Top Rank World Feed. For John Saraceno, I'm Todd Grisham. Lots more action to come from the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada.
While the other tries to shock the boxing world once again.
I like what I'm seeing from Horn. He's not intimidated at all.
Their struggles defined by their destination, shaped by determination and will. These two men have traveled distinctly different paths in their search for supremacy from two different corners of the world. Tonight, their paths collide here on the most famous strip in the world, where their grit and their legacies will be on display. Who will ascend to ultimate domination? Crawford, Horn, now.
Welcome to the desert, where there seems to be even more heat when a title fight is in the air. This town is sizzling with anticipation. Of course, the Vegas Strip has celebrated the crowning of champions for years, and tonight, America's best pound-for-pound fighter looks to take hold of a throne in a new weight class. From fabulous Las Vegas and the MGM Grand, this is the home to the big show tonight. The WBO Welterweight Championship of the world. And Terence "Bud" Crawford, the pride of Omaha, Nebraska, has made his way here to the Grand Garden Arena, set on becoming a three-division world champion. He's the man who conquered one of the greatest accomplishments of all the past year. 4 belts, undisputed, undefeated at 140 pounds. Now climbs up a rung on the ladder to see if he can take on a bigger man at 147. That bigger man is from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Jeff Horn, the WBO welterweight champion, the national hero down under. He makes his U.S. debut tonight. Of course, a year ago, he had one of the biggest shockers in all of sports. He became a global star in doing so. The upset of Manny Pacquiao, the most watched fight in 2017. Now he's convinced he can take down another elite fighter. As we say, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a world title fight on ESPN+. Joe Tessitore, alongside a guy who knows what it is to be a two-division world champion, the great Timothy Bradley, and, of course, our award-winning author, Mark Kriegel. A lot of headlines surrounding this one. The biggest of all, what happened yesterday on the scale, Jeff Horn struggling to make the weight. He eventually did. We'll get to that in a moment. But the star attraction, of course, is the undefeated American, Bud Crawford. You spent a lot of time with him recently, Mark. How does this define him tonight?
Is he the greatest fighter in the world? We'll know more in a couple of hours. In the meantime, I can tell you with absolute assurance, there is nobody, fighter or otherwise, like Bud Crawford, a completely dichotomous guy. The same way he moves from left to right, orthodox to southpaw, in the ring, he changes character from good to evil. Tonight, he'll go in as the smaller guy, but also the bully.
Well, I got a chance to share the ring in 2011 with Terence Crawford. I was getting ready for Devin Alexander fight, and let me tell you, I thought I was in the ring with the Black Panther. I'm not gonna lie, he beat me from post to post. And after that sparring session, I looked over at him as he was checking himself out in the mirror, and he was like, I was like, hey, who are you? He said, I'm Terence Crawford. I said, no, you special. You're a world champion.
Champ, you knew before anybody knew what Bud Crawford would eventually be. Moments ago, he caught up with our Bernardo Osuna.
Terence, last time you were in this building, you beat Victor Postel. You're just minutes away from making your jump to welterweight. What's going through your mind?
I'm just ready, relaxed, ready to go out there and get this job done.
Welterweight, no doubt, is the glamour division in boxing. What kind of statement do you want to make to the fans and to the other champions at 147?
I just want them to know that I'm a big force in the welterweight division, coming for all of them.
Jeff Horn, he's no longer sneaking up on anybody. What kind of fight do you expect from him tonight?
I expect a very aggressive fight, a lot of movement, a lot of feints, darting in and darting out.
You're not burning yourself down to 140 now. You're at 147. How big do you expect to be in the ring tonight?
I don't know. I didn't weigh myself coming over here, so I feel good.
Thanks, Terence.
Dude sounds like Bermain's Devon. If Bermain's Devon was a welterweight. This commentary team is bugging me. Mark Kriegel. I can live with Timothy Bradley, but this guy Mark Kriegel, man, he's a problem.
When the first go-round, he failed to make weight, had to come back later and drop a half a pound, did come in right at 147. Mark, you stuck around for that second weigh-in.
I've seen a lot of stuff in this building, never saw that. He was telling Australian reporters primarily that Crawford had been rattled, that he was scared of him, and that the scale was rigged. Kind of blew me away, because in the week and a half since Horn's gotten here, they've offered nothing but excuses. First, the gym was too hot, then it's the gloves, the ref, now the scale. I don't know if they're playing mind games or they're living in an alternative universe. I don't know.
This isn't nothing new, though. A year ago, the two of us were down in Australia when the word was he was struggling to make weight before what ended up being the greatest night of his life when he upset Pacquiao.
Yes, absolutely. He struggled to make weight. I saw it. I was there live. I looked at him.
Man, listen to this shit, man. Do you hear Mark Kriegel? I bet Mark Kriegel watches YouTube videos. He's probably in the LDBC.
Soon as he got after the weigh-ins, soon as he got back in that ring, let me tell you something. He was huge.
He reads the comment section, man, and takes notes.
Let me tell you, he's a tough cookie.
And being the bigger guy and trying to bully somebody, that's probably the strategy tonight. We expect him to look that part much like he did last year against Pacquiao, the bigger-bodied guy in this welterweight fight. Horn with Bernardo.
Here with Jeff Horn. Seems like you've always been the underdog your entire life. Do you ever get tired of people expecting you to prove yourself every time out?
No, not really. There'll come a time where I'll probably miss it, maybe one day, but I'm enjoying it at the moment.
Now, you're no longer sneaking up on anybody after what happened with Manny Pacquiao. How do you plan on forcing Terence Crawford to have to dig deep at some point in this fight?
Look, I'm going to fight hard, and they know that, and they think they're going to catch me with a lucky early shot, but I'm going to make them go into the deep end.
Now, what kind of statement do you want to make, not only to Terence Crawford, the fans, but also the other champions at 147 pounds?
Look, I want them to know that I'm a serious contender out there, and I've got what it takes to be the best, even better than they are.
Hot gym, the scale, the gloves. How do you feel about all that situation?
It's all part of the game, I think. They've all... stuff has happened. I don't know. I'm relaxed anyway now. It doesn't really matter. Put it behind me.
Thank you for your time. Joe Tessitore, we send it back to you.
Thank you. He seems relaxed. What will be the next chapter in the most improbable ascent to be a world champion we've seen in some time? One of the great champions in recent boxing history is with us as well tonight. Andre Ward is with Adnan Burke. Take it away, Adnan, my friend.
All right, Tess, thank you very much. Nothing quite like fight night here in Vegas. Andre Ward, undefeated record, and of course you had multiple world titles in 2 weight classes. You know exactly what Bud Crawford's all about. But how about Jeff Horn? He shocked Pacquiao. He defended his crown since then, and yet everyone is not picking him to win tonight. What's the biggest challenge for him against Crawford?
Well, listen, the main event is a bona fide barn burner, in my opinion. You got Jeff Horn, who hails from Australia. He's coming here to Las Vegas to defend his WBO title, and he's not going to be turned away easy. And he also holds a win over the legendary Manny Pacquiao. On the other end of the ring, you have Terence Bud Crawford. Terence is a former 140-pound champion, an undisputed champion who's moving up in weight to try to stake his claim in this stacked division, and he too will not be turned away easily. So you know what that means? We're in for a treat tonight.
Exactly. If you're a fight fan, you're going to love it. Where does the winner fit in with the rest of the division here, Andre, as you see Horn, Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman?
I mean, the 140-pound division is probably the hottest division in boxing. The fighters have to continue to fight it out and let the division flush itself out just like they're doing tonight. But the guy who's the last man standing when all is said and done will probably be the best fighter in the sport of boxing at the time.
And Horn said on Friday, I'm going to roll Errol Spence next. So he's unencumbered right now by contract, so he's free to do whatever he wants to do after this fight. We shall see. Of course, that is the main event. But coming up next, former junior lightweight champion Jose Pedraza will be in his second career fight at 135 pounds as he faces Antonio Moran. Joe Tess, Tim Bradley, Mark Riegel on the call when we come back.
I finally figured out what car to get. Now, where to find the best deal?
You know, why don't I help?
What's that?
Car Gurus. Color?
Silver. Car Gurus?
Low miles, 2 grand below market value, 5-star dealer rating. Ooh, I'm beat.
Let's do it your way, then.
I heard that.
Go to Car Gurus today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
Want to earn more Canadian Tire money more often?
competition for a chance at the WBO 135-pound champ, Ray Beltran. We will see. Now, Moran is very tall for this weight class, nearly 6 foot tall. And you saw at the bottom there, the average punches thrown per round, the most in recent fights. Moran has thrown 112.9 per round in his last 2 fights. That is outrageous work rate. To Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the MGM Grand Garden here at the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, where tonight, live on ESPN Plus, Mr. Bob Arum and his Top Rank Incorporated are proud to present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. And it's all brought to you by Geico and sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. At ringside for this contest, WBO Supervisor Danny Lee. The 3 judges assigned, Tim Cheatham, Glenn Feldman, and Dave Moretti. And in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Russell Mora. And now on the line, the WBO Latino Lightweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with gold, official weight, 134 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 22 victories, including 15 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. Damas y caballeros de Ciudad de Mexico, the reigning and defending WBO Latino Lightweight Champion, Antonio
Pedraza is outsized. Never seen that guy Moran though. Let's see what he has.
Across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white.
Has Pedraza fought since the knockout loss
His professional record,
to Davis?
23 victories, including 12 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat. Isidra, Puerto Rico, the challenger, former lightweight champion of the world, Jose Sniper Pedraza.
Russell Mora, our referee for Pedraza and Moran. Critical fight at this stage of the career of both guys.
Belt here's good, belt here's good. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Acuérdense, quiero una pelea limpia. Dios los bendiga, toquen guantes.
Jose Pedraza, TKO'd 2 fights ago, lost the title.
When I see Russell Mora, I always think of Avner Maris.
Reacts after that. The answer
Avner
for
Maris is also
Pedraza
fighting.
has been to come north to 135 pounds. This his second fight as a lightweight.
I bet Akbeko feels the same way.
Well, Pedraza looking like he's trying to get inside right now. But guess what? Moran has a really good educated jab.
And Moran willing to throw it early on.
As you alluded to before, Joe, he has 2 natural advantages. One, the height, but also he throws about twice as many punches as Pedraza.
Yeah, throwing punches is one thing, but, you know, if you throw too many of them, you leave openings. Every time your hands leave your face, guess what? There's an opening. And Pedraza has a high IQ. An Olympian, 2008 Olympian.
Got that experience. Yeah, 3-time Puerto Rican national champ, Timmy.
So he's going to be looking to take advantage of Moran's mistakes.
He is tall, I'll tell you what. It's something to look at.
Off balance that time as Pedraza landed a right hand. I think his feet were just out of position when that punch landed.
Pedraza going down to the kitchen. Going down to slow down, want to slow down Moran by working the body. Pedraza's setting up a shot right now. He's jabbing to the body. He's setting up a shot because he wants to land something hard up top. You see guys drop down to the body, look for something to come over and loop over the top.
Good exchange on the inside. Moran was able to land a body shot in the mix there. Not much on it, but did target that right side.
Moran chin sometimes stands straight.
This is not a feeling out round. They're going at it.
See his there is exposed as he's throwing punches.
Oh. There's a left hook from Moran. Willingness right in the middle of the ring to exchange. Pedraza and Moran. Very good early pace being set.
This is exactly actually the fight that Moran's trainer said, Miguel Barros said he wanted. If we fight in the middle of the ring, there's no way he'll get past the jab. And if he comes in, he's going to get caught. It hasn't proven the case so far. Pedraza's been slipping a lot of these jabs.
Yeah, sometimes Pedraza, see how he's sitting out there like that? He makes too many moves and you don't see anything coming back. Look at all those moves. So many opportunities to get hit.
Good work with the left hand there.
Pedraza's nice with his defense, man. What is Tim Bradley talking about?
Goes to the body successfully. Nice exchange to close out round number 1.
Like, the big dude is missing a lot, man.
Could be a great night here on ESPN+. All right, Timothy Bradley, let's take a closer look at Antonio Moran. You love breaking down the good and the bad.
Oh, yeah, I break it down. Moran, you know what? Let's go to the bad. Like I said, he leaves that chin up in the air. He exposes his chin after every combination he throws just about. I'm looking for Pedraza to take advantage of that. Right now it's the beginning of the fight. Let's see what happens as they start fatiguing, later on in the fight.
Jose Pedraza, the 23-win veteran, the former IBF junior lightweight world champion. Size him up for us, Tim.
All right, I'm going to go with the bad again. Sometimes loses concentration. In the Tank Davis fight, guess what? He needed to box. Why did he go and brawl against a puncher like Tank Davis? He needs to keep the distance, stay focused. And in this fight, he needs to step to Moran and get inside and work his body and break this young man down.
That fight against Tank Davis was back in January 2017 in Brooklyn, and Davis just wore him down. It was a 7th round TKO. Pedraza suffered then. Won the IBF belt back in June 2015. Had 2 successful defenses prior to losing to Davis.
It's put him in a place where he basically has to reconstruct his career. It's one of the few situations you can't relate to, Tim, getting knocked out like that. It's a long journey back, spiritually, emotionally, physically. His course has said he really, basically, he wants to win this, fight Beltran for a title, then be in line for Lomachenko.
Absolutely, but you know what? 2 things can happen after you suffer a knockout loss. One thing that can happen is that, guess what? Your confidence leaves you. He's had a couple of fights back to build on his confidence. But the second thing can happen is he can go back to the drawing board and become stronger.
This is one big dude, man.
Not against the type of competition he
You
had.
Pedraza had also success against Gervonta Davis early.
Getting knocked out is that
Not
you
that
never
they
really know. What I get from fighters is
similar from a style perspective.
You never really know
Davis
when
and
it
this
can
dude.
happen again.
But
Your sense of invincibility.
never know about the conditioning of Pedraza.
We mentioned the work rate of Moran.
What weight is this at?
112 punches thrown the last.
It's not super featherweight, right?
88 in that first round.
That would be ridiculous.
You mentioned, though, when you throw punches, it's one thing to throw a lot. You want to be accurate, and you don't want to have defensive flaws. There were some defensive flaws there. As you can see, blood coming from the bridge of the nose of Moran. There's an uppercut that came from Pedraza, but you saw that the connect percentage was low with Antonio Moran.
Right.
See that cut right on the bridge of the nose of Moran. You start to see the staining of those white trunks immediately.
Pedraza choosing to stand right in front of Moran. And he's having success by walking him down slowly and taking advantage of all those punches that's being thrown and countering in between the shots. Moran coming back with his
Whoa.
Sometimes he stays there too long defensively without throwing a punch, and he allows guys to just pound on him.
And that's what happened right there for Moran as he fired
I
back.
guess it's dangerous, man. There's a big dude throwing bombs at you, you know?
That's not appealing to the judges at all. They see a guy getting punished with shots, whether they're landing cleanly or not. They're not paying attention to that.
You're paying attention to that nose.
Well,
Good exchange here. These guys are willing tonight.
Ja, dat uppercut bei Pedraza doch.
Moran cutting that second round. Bad cut as the blood is streaming down his nose.
Pedraza is the one doing damage.
Standing right there taking too much leather. I know those shots are not getting in clean, but it's how it looks. He don't need to take those shots right there against Moran.
I think Timothy Bradley is bugging right now.
Bringing up his percentage of connects in that last round.
Watch the way Pedraza is fighting right now, man. That will pay off, I feel like.
Of his punches through the first 2 rounds. Round number 3, scheduled for 10.
I mean, how experienced is the other dude, you know?
Lightweight matchup here. Well-made match between Pedraza and Moran. We've seen that early on as we work our way to the title fight between Bud Crawford and Jeff Horn right here on ESPN+.
Moran looking to take the fight, keep the fight on the outside. He likes to be the dictator. Sometimes he puts himself in harm's way. He likes to press forward. See, he's pressing forward for no apparent reason. In my opinion, he should keep his height and box from the outside to better his chances of winning the fight. Use that height and his reach advantage.
His trainer is Cuban. He's a Mexican fighter from Mexico City. His trainer is Cuban. Came to Mexico City 14 years ago. I asked to describe his style. He said it was a hybrid Mexican-Cuban style. The Cuban style isn't fan-friendly.
He's too straight up, this guy, man.
Look at Pedraza with his back against the ropes here.
Nice defense by Pedraza, man.
Cuban style with the aggression of the Mexican style.
It's just, I mean...
It's pretty, but he's not doing damage. Every now and then he'll throw a pop shot like he's doing there. He's doing some damage there, but Moran is doing a lot of the work during this round.
I mean, remember James Toney?
Getting a lot of the results.
No, he got a lot of punches off when Pedraza was against the ropes, but Pedraza was giving a lot of upper body head movement.
Even when Pedraza has his lapses, as we saw in the previous round, there weren't many scoring punches from Moran.
Yeah, but the judges don't see that. I'm telling you, they don't see that.
Pedraza's doing the clean work, man.
Just like that, getting hit on. Some of those shots are coming in.
Like, Timothy Bradley has been conditioned by Lomachenko, I feel like, now.
I see the shots.
A bunch of tapping shit.
I don't see him that many scoring on Pedraza.
Well, Moran looks...
Even though he has lapses, as you said.
Well, Moran is looking bloody. He's looking like a defeated fighter right now.
White trunks with gold trim are turning into pink trunks with gold trim.
Crimson.
This dude Moran is throwing for the sake of throwing.
Started in the last round. The bridge of the nose opened up by a punch there, and it's continuing here. Now we have
Pedraza's looking good, man.
With a Stitch Duran. We will check in with Stitch and talk about that cut and how they have to deal with it at the conclusion of this 3rd round. As Pedraza, going to make his mark here, comes in with a right hand.
Beautiful counter by Pedraza. The reason how he was able to set that up, got the young man moving back. Now he's coming forward and having success. When he gets this young man going back and he's pressing forward, he has success.
Oh, yeah, at times, like, the defense by Pedraza is kind of iffy. You know, the shoulder roll thing.
Thank you very much, Joe. All right, so you see that cut, Jacob,
Not
right
100% mastered, it seems
and how
like.
do you deal with it?
Well, it's not a bad cut. You know, the referee, considered it a punch. But that's a cut man's worst nightmare because it's cartilage. It's hard for it to stop bleeding.
Watch this guy Duran plugging something, man. He's gonna plug, like, I'm gonna be in some movie.
Because it wasn't until he got hit right on the bridge again that we saw the blood start flow again.
Yeah, well, it's direct pressure. You know, that's the whole thing with any cut is put direct pressure on the cut and keep it there as much as possible. And then you cover it right at the end with the Vaseline. Some guys use Vaseline, adrenaline chloride. They'll mix it as the final mixture, and it'll continue to bleed.
Stitch, thank you for your insight.
Right as Stitch said, the pressure and then the Vaseline, you saw it go to work right there. The big
We're lucky.
glob of Vaseline that was applied that time by Robert Caseta. And he makes the point that it's the cartilage, but of course it's also the position that can impact a fight. And below the eyes, you're not going to have anything that deals with impairing the eyesight. It would have to be the cut worsening to the point where there was a health and safety issue to get the stoppage of the fight. Well, heard from Stitch Duran. We also have our unofficial judge with us tonight, Joe Cortez, who is scoring the fight with us. Let's check in and see 3 rounds to zip for Pedraza, says Joe Cortez. So he favors the former junior lightweight world champion early on. More effective, more efficient work, and of course opening up the cut as well was Pedraza.
That it is. He's taking his time, placing his shots, being more accurate, landing bigger punches like that overhand right there. As Moran kept his chin up in the air after throwing a punch.
As you noted, a defensive flaw of his.
Well, he's landing some shots right now. Right hand over the top right there. As Pedraza stayed right in front of him.
Tim, does he know how to use his height?
Exchange that was driving down the right hand. Look at them go, Pedraza and Moran here.
See, the reason why that's happening is he's giving them too much space. One, doing too many defensive moves and getting himself in bad positions. Look at that's the reason why these shots are landing and some of these shots are getting in there.
Punch after punch, right and left exchanging as Moran so willing to throw time and time again, and Pedraza just looking for an opening.
Have you ever heard of a tie-up? You got a guy that's busy, you want to slow him down, guess what? Break his rhythm, tie him up. You don't see that from the experience with Pedraza. No tying up, just standing there taking leather.
It's a war, man.
What a great round this has been. Takes with the left hand to the uppercut. Look at the CompuBox tallies from Moran of punches this round. Already throwing 49.
Good right hook by Pedraza. Moran threw a lot of punches, man, early. Pedraza gotta let his hands go, though.
And he has success with a looping right hand.
He might be recovering still.
It's about the time Tim should be calling for Pedraza to go to the body.
Absolutely.
This right here can go either way.
And the uppercut is there for Pedraza as well. See the taller guy leaning forward?
Comes with the left hand, trying to place that uppercut. Sensational 4th round, Pedraza and Moran. Just the start to a big night here on ESPN Plus as we anticipate and work our way towards the WBO Welterweight World Championship. And there is the champion, the unbeaten Jeff Horn, who shocked the world, Australia's real-life Rocky. The book is called The Hornet.
Don't sleep on this guy. Don't sleep on Horn. I'm picking Crawford, but Horn, man, I mean, it doesn't make sense to take so much credit away from the guy. Even if you're like a Crawford fan, you know what I mean? Taking credit away if Crawford wins, then taking credit away from Crawford, you know? I don't like the dirty tactics. What's going on, Timothy?
But it has to be done cleanly.
That is the WBO welterweight champ, Jeff Horn, who is a decided underdog against arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Undoubtedly the best American fighter, 32-0, Terence "Bud" Crawford. Round number 5 here, the conclusion of this lightweight fight. We will have our main event, but this is a good one in front of us right now. Pedraza and Moran. Moran, the taller fighter, who's won 3 straight by knockout against Pedraza, the former titleist at 130 pounds, who opened up that cut on the nose of Moran in the 2nd round. Bernardo Osuna was listening into Pedraza's corner. Bernie, what are they saying?
Luis Espada, who's his trainer and his stepfather, said that last round was not him fighting his fight. He needs to move laterally, get in and out, and be more explosive, and it all starts with the jab.
That's great instructions from his corner. They know that Moran can't fight bagging up. Pedraza stepped to him, and he had success when he stepped to him.
There goes that jab.
He's trying to establish that jab. And it seems to me that Pedraza's starting to get his rhythm, starting to bounce a little bit more. He's changing his rhythm up on Moran.
I see a guy's boxing masterfully, then all of a sudden he stops and it gives Moran an opportunity to establish some control. It's just that the only thing he's doing wrong in the lapses, really.
Yeah, but Moran, like I said, he needs to fight tall, but like he likes to be first. He likes to be the hunter. He don't have to.
What is this guy saying in the chat?
Yeah, and that's why he comes down to your level, to where you can land an uppercut or big shot or even get body shots on him. Pedraza kind of stalking him slowly, trying to butter him up with the jab. I'm waiting to see a right hand with that jab. There it is.
It was a lead right hand that time. But he has been switching things up a bit in terms of his attack. There's the jab with the right hand from Pedraza, slightly off the mark. Blood continues to stream down the face of Antonio Moran, the lightweight contender. He's number 5 in the WBO rankings, making his U.S. debut here. First time he has fought outside of Mexico.
Now Pedraza laying back, playing cat and mouse, fighting off angles, making Moran make mistakes and making him pay. I like what I'm seeing from Pedraza right now. Now he's stocking him again. So, different transitions. He's winning all the fights, in my opinion, right now. The forward fight and the backup fight. Off the back foot.
You know, Pedraza is not too unsimilar to Horn in his style. Switch hitting.
To see arguably the pound-for-pound best in the world, but Crawford, Adnan Burke is with the guy who was the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
No doubt about it, Taz, here with Andre Ward. And so far, Pedraza, he knew with the height and the reach, the jab was going to be vital. Seems to be getting into his rhythm now. What's your take?
Yeah, so far, the first round was, an eventful round. It was a good round. And then things kind of slowed up until the fourth round. Both fighters had a big round. It's ebbs and flows. It's back and forth. And neither guy has really made up their mind that they want to take over and dominate this fight. They have a few rounds left. Let's see what happens. But both guys need a win tonight. Neither can afford a loss. So we'll see what happens.
Do you expect Moran to get a little bit more aggressive at this point?
I do, but every time he gets aggressive, his opponent comes right back and steals the show. So again, it's back and forth, and neither guy has made up their mind that they're going to create separation.
All right, we'll see who can create that separation moving forward. Joe Tez, back to you and the guys ringside.
Thank you. Great to have Adnan Burke and Andre Ward with us tonight. This was the uppercut moments ago, Timmy.
Being the taller fighter, reaching in, lunging forward, getting your head over your knee. Guess what? That's a home for the uppercut. Pedraza saw it, threw the uppercut, right on the money.
Again, both these guys could be in prime position to get a title shot. Ray Beltran is the WBO champ in the autumn of his career, finally earning well-earned title belt by Beltran this year. He won that title on ESPN this winter out in Reno, Nevada. Perhaps the winner here could find themselves fighting for a title.
Who's winning this fight?
Of Pedraza, he knows what it is to be a titleist. He was the IBF champ at 130 pounds and had 2 successful defenses. In the case of Antonio Moran,
Anybody watching the fight?
a win 4 fights ago. Everybody who saw the fight
Pedraza Moran.
in Mexico said it was one of the worst decisions they've ever seen. His response to that, winning 3 straight by knockout. Let's look at the CompuBox numbers that are being tallied. We're in round number 6. These are the numbers from round number 5, when Moran threw 41 power punches, but once again, the efficiency, the productivity of Pedraza, 7 of 16, landing 44% compared to 20% from Moran.
That's the experience. Not being wasteful.
There's a nice little right hand that time, too, from Pedraza.
The sniper is also sniping. He has that jab working. It seems to me he's remembering who he was supposed to be. a champion. It's coming back to him in pieces.
You know, we say that, we throw that label around, Mark, and I'm curious because in our main event, I think that could be a central theme. It means something to have been a titleist. It means something to be undefeated, to have faith and confidence in yourself.
You know,
when you're with Jeff Horn, look at that.
When does the Santa Cruz Martis fight start, man? Or Charlo, Trout, whatever. Showtime card.
I think it's in part confidence in his trainer, Glenn Rush.
I might have to change the title
Unwavering
if I don't find a good source.
That Rushton tells him, you're a champion, and he believes it. Let him go. And he's Australia's Rocky, by the way. You win in front of 51,000 people, it does a good bit for your confidence.
You win a world title, guess what, 30% better.
A win tonight would do wonders for each of these guys' confidence.
Let him go. And moving closer to getting a shot at the world championship. That's what every fighter's trying to accomplish.
But Pedraza spoke pretty openly with us yesterday about his diminished desire going into and coming out
Moran's
of
face is a mess.
That's not something you recover from easily.
I'll tell you this, I haven't never been knocked out, thank God. I have lost a fight.
Look at that face.
It looks a mess, but you know, sometimes that blood does speak.
¿Me entiendes? Los octavos le están doliendo, se está quedando. Entonces, si tú le estás tirando a él y está fallando, ¿me entiendes? Estás ahorrando, tienes que ahorrarte tu condición física.
All right, so you're in Moran's corner. What do you tell him?
You got to get right now. Yeah. Tell him to get back out there, use your jab, establish yourself, stop hunting this guy. Let this guy come to you and let him make mistakes. That's what I would tell him.
He's fighting a guy who is a better or gifted boxer.
Of course he is. Of course he is. But you know what? He got to use his best attribute, which is height, his size, and fight tall. And make it difficult.
The commentators are not as out of it as usual, you know. They're not as bad, man. Especially that guy Kriegel. Ooh.
Whenever a referee or a doctor looks at
Big
a
right hand.
Bernardo or a cut, they look and see if the fighter is the disadvantage. It's not a bad cut. It's not getting in his eyes. It looks horrible, you know, because there's a lot of blood. But it's not a disadvantage, and they shouldn't stop the fight. If they did, the people would start booing.
Thank you, Stitch.
It'll be interesting to see if we're talking to Stitch in our main event in the world title fight, because that could be a concern with Jeff.
What did we hear before the
Sweet
fight?
right hand.
Before the fight, in between rounds from Pedraza, jab, lateral
Man,
movement.
credit to this guy Moran.
Yeah, you see a lot of lateral movement, and you see Moran stocking.
He's in good condition, you know. Should be still fighting at this pace.
30 seconds ago,
Still pressuring.
left hook as he was moving. He came back across his body. He missed the left hook.
Is that
shot.
where we are now in this fight? We're in, you got to knock him out phase?
Right now? Yeah, absolutely.
There's no way he's winning a decision.
Moran right now is trying to get close, land his punches. He's used to throwing a lot of punches, and he's trying to do anything to win some rounds.
And the greater disparity in points, the more desperate he's going to become, the more he has to lean in, the more he becomes a target for a really accomplished boxer like Pedraza.
Yes, but Pedraza can't get lazy. He got a live dog in front of him that's trying to take him out.
Pedraza's face also now showing. Excuse me. Showing the signs of the fight now. Oh.
But Crawford making his final preparations for Jeff Horn.
What I'd like to see Pedraza do is not just counter with one punch off the slip, but a couple.
Good body shot.
Three. Really assert himself. Make a statement.
Oh.
Right hand comes in from Moran.
There he is, getting himself out there in no man's land again.
Oh, shit.
A hard body shot right there that hurt. Moran right there.
Good combination from Pedraza.
You see Moran step straight back because that body shot hurt him.
Nice jab by Pedraza. Oh, 1-2.
That right hand, because guess what? Pedraza's doing something wrong. When you fight against a taller guy, you can't step straight back. You got to step in, get close, and go around the sides. If you step straight back, guess what? They're going to meet
you get caught with those jabs like you just had.
Exactly.
He's been caught with a bunch of them the last 30 seconds.
Also, Pedraza kind of reminds me of James the Gale.
He's not going to ever wear those again.
Bloodstain started in the second round. Pedraza,
Oh, good body work, man.
Good looking round.
Back and forth.
Crowd reacting because look up top as to who they're showing. Terence Bud Crawford, the recent undisputed junior welterweight world champion. He gave up all 4 belts.
Yeah, shout out to Terence Crawford, man, for listening to like 90s R&B in his dressing room.
In the history of the sport, have won at lightweight, junior welterweight, and welterweight. Bud Crawford trying to join a historic group tonight, trying to become a 3-division world champion. America's top active fighter, taking on Jeff Horn, who upset Manny Pacquiao last summer. That is coming up. We're moments away from our main event.
You're going to see that right hand from Moran right there. Pedraza getting himself out and his body out in no man's land right there and paid the price. Now here's the body shot I was talking about, right in the solar plex. Moran took it very, very great. He absorbed it well. It hurt him. And he showed heart. He came back and fought and finished that last round.
Good looking body shot there by Jose Pedraza. Longtime veteran referee Joe Cortez is with us tonight as our unofficial scorer. Let's take a peek and see how Joe has it. And he does have Pedraza up 67-66.
Cuidado cabezas.
Has really taken over this fight, like Champ said. Looking for someone to really take over and start dominating.
Maybe because they're very evenly matched.
Very good, well-made matchup. Pedraza was able to time that right hand that time as Moran came forward.
Well, Pedraza's switching up his attacks. Sometimes he boxes, and he does well when bringing in Moran, and then he presses on the gas as well. And Moran is just having a lot of opportunities because guess what? Pedraza's making mistakes. He's pulling straight back. Look at getting himself out there in no man's land and getting clipped with counters.
We talked about this with regard to Crawford, the ability to punch between your opponent's punches. The same opportunity is presenting itself now for Pedraza.
Just saw a glimpse of it moments ago, Mark. Mark, when you go through the list of attributes of Bud Crawford, that is very high on the list. He is masterful at punching between punches.
I don't think that that's something that can actually be taught. That's just a manifestation of talent.
It can be taught. It can be taught.
Well, you were pretty good at it too, Champ.
You got to learn that.
Have talent.
The guys at the top level, they can punch in between. They know how.
He is sublime when it comes to pure talent. And here's Pedraza backing him up again as Moran looks to fight back with blood continuing to rush down from the bridge of the nose.
He has blood dripping down in his mouth. You know, it takes...
Touch your breath a little bit.
Yeah.
Take the air out of you. Just see on that short right hand, the blood sweeping across his face.
And then the body work from Pedraza is definitely having an effect now in these later rounds on Moran.
Tell you what we haven't seen. Moran is a guy who's knocked out 15 opponents in his 22 wins. We haven't seen him hurt Pedraza.
Pedraza looking to step it up right now. He sees this guy starting to weaken, having a problem breathing, looks like.
There's a good left hand, doubles it up, and he sends him back. Great work by Pedraza there at the end of round number 8 as Russell Moore is going to break him. Excellent stuff. 6 minutes of action left between these lightweights and then our world championship fight. But what a nice way to start things from the Grand Garden Arena.
that straight right. Listen to me. You've got longer distance. You've got to use that jab so you can recover. Look to recover.
¿Está bien aquí? Sí. ¿Quieres pelear? Sí.
Oíste, vamos, Tony, nos quedan 2 rounds, ¿ok? Hay que cerrar fuerte aquí. Vamos a cerrar fuerte. Vamos a cerrar fuerte. Aquí no se puede dejar duda con nadie. Cuando se cambie a la zurda.
You're going to see the double left hand from Pedraza right there. Hit Moran right on that nose, on the bridge of that nose. Boom, slipped outside of that jab. He's in southpaw position. Double left hand action. Beautiful shot from Pedraza.
See Moran's corner telling him he needs that big right hand. The dilemma is really good boxers, of which Jose Pedraza is one, don't get hit by big right hands.
Did they just tell Moran in the corner that he's winning this fight?
Getting in the championship rounds now. Fatigue is set in.
Kind of sounded like it.
At the end of that round, I saw a dispirited fighter in Moran going to his corner.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think Moran right now is looking for a second win. And he has a little sense of urgency in him right now. He got a little bit more spunk, a little bit more energy to him. So he might have caught it now. Something Pedraza to take it from him, honestly. Pedraza needs to step it up, get more fluid with his punches, and more consistent.
And come back with 2 or 3 instead of 1.
Yeah, he'll have a lot more success. But he's playing it cautious right now. He's just looking for his countering opportunities. He's laying back, trying to let the young gun, Moran, make mistakes.
I think Pedraza's winning this fight. Same way I thought Terry Flanagan was winning this fight against Maurice Hooker.
Falls in on the inside, didn't get anything accomplished there. Comes to the halfway point, round number 9.
No, he didn't get much accomplished, but he didn't get hit. A lot of people don't realize that the closer you are to your opponent, if you body up with him, you don't get hit. It's hard to get hit. Got to need space to land those punches.
Throwing a wet blanket over a fire. There's a short left uppercut on the inside.
See, now you see Moran sitting back waiting for his opportunities, but he's not throwing his jab like he needs to. He throws one there.
I think we're past the point where he can wait.
Well, Pedraza's honestly, just a more mechanical fighter. He has a lot more. He's landing those body shots right there. Oh, skillful, yeah. He's landing body shots like that are piercing to an opponent and hurts opponents. He slows you down. Takes the air out of the tires of the opponent. Meaning the legs. Ooh.
Good up punch that time.
Pedraza's also been slipping beautifully.
I agree, Mark.
Let go.
Saw that early on, and he's kept it up.
And that in itself can become discouraging, especially when you're looking for a big punch.
Just seems like the more complete fighter. It's a sweeping left hand that sends Moran back that time here. Some of his best work has come in the final 10 seconds of these rounds.
Just give me one more round. Come on, kid. Well done. I know you're tired. You're standing still just watching. I need you to throw with him. He's coming with everything for this last round. You need to come forward and make sure we win this fight. Don't get overconfident. He's going to risk it all. He's going to give it everything. And you've got to be intelligent here.
Here's some body work by Pedraza. Run down to the body. That's what you want to do against a taller fighter. Break him down to bring him down to your level. And there's that nice left hand. Good shot as Moran tried to exit, dropping his hands. Like I said, leave his chin exposed. He got clipped right there on the money.
Touch him up for the last time. 10th and final round. It has been an entertaining fight between Pedraza and Moran. Joe Cortez sees it much the way we do here. Pedraza easily on top. Moran was bloodied in the second round. Pedraza
Who's winning this fight?
and efficient with his work, and we will see.
Any thoughts?
Has one final answer to solve this.
Spirited effort by Moran. He's putting on a good show.
Agreed.
Coming here, he's fighting tough, doing as best as he possibly can right now. But I think he's outgunned by Pedraza.
I think he's outskilled by Pedraza.
Outgunned, absolutely.
You like this version of Pedraza, Mark, at 135 pounds?
I think that he likes it better. I think that he's more comfortable with the weight. I think he sees himself as belonging in this division. He talked about one of the things he didn't like with Tank Davis. He was expecting a lightweight fight and had to go back down to 130. I'm not sure he would have beaten Davis in any scenario at that weight. But I think that there's no question he feels more comfortable here. What we're seeing now is the reemergence of a guy as a player in the division.
Perhaps he hooks up with Ray Beltran down the road and fights for the BO title at 135. This is a guy who, worked his way to be a champion, but hasn't cashed the big ticket. We asked him about paydays in his career, winning the title, going on, defending it a couple times, fighting against Davis. Guy made $150, $185,000, $225. Big paydays are still out there.
I'll tell you what, when it comes to waiting for your payday, waiting to make a score, being patient, ask Ray Beltran about that.
That's
right. Because he's been around for an awful long time before he made his score.
Well, if he would have never lost that belt to Tank Davis, he'd probably be right now and still be undefeated. Guess what? He'd be having some big paydays right now.
Yeah, but he got knocked out, and he really had to come back from that.
Fuck are they talking about, man?
If this fight proves to be what we think we are, he deserves some real credit, because coming back from a knockout like that, a devastating knockout.
It's a close fight, man. Who's winning this round?
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, in every way.
Yeah, but that's what makes a fighter. That's what makes a champion. You can have a loss on your record. You can suffer a knockout. That's how you bounce back from that. And he's bouncing back well right now.
Pedraza.
Don't do that. Let's go. Final 25 seconds here. Jose Pedraza.
Nice with the counters.
Stepped down, trains him, said, I see my son having that desire again, that confidence, that concentration level. Look good from start to finish against a very game, a very willing and tough Antonio Moran.
Yeah, man, that dude Moran, he's tough. Tough dude.
One round and the doctors right up to look at him.
Experience one
and
out.
Guess what's ahead? The World Championship between Crawford and Moran. But that was a heck of an appetizer before our main event. A reminder, we have World Championship action coming your way. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN returns June 30th. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez against Romar Angulo from Oklahoma City, because Alex Saucedo, the undefeated local guy, is on that card. Then July 7th, the inspirational story of Jose Ramirez continues. The WBC Junior Welterweight champion back home in Fresno to take on Danny O'Connor. June 30th, July 7th, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. 2 world title fights set to come your way. Veteran referee Joe Cortez is our unofficial judge tonight, sitting ringside. He liked Pedraza throughout. He says a little tighter than perhaps we see it. 96-94, says Joe Cortez. Pedraza, the former titleist, who was TKO'd a couple fights ago, moved up in weight in March, back on St. Patrick's Day in New York City. Looking to earn a chance at a title shot at 135 pounds. Moran was game, put up with a lot, gave a lot. Let's find out which way it goes and how the judges see it. For that, here's the incomparable Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the score.
Au WBC des Super Welter est encore défendu pour la 3e fois par le garçon sur la droite de votre écran, Jermell Charlo, toujours invaincu face à lui Austin Trout, l'ancien champion dans cette catégorie, mais voilà, c'était il y a 5 ans maintenant.
Voilà, il y a un duel gaucher-droitier.
Oui, gaucher pour Trout.
Judges saw it just like our Joe Cortez saw it. 96-94 for Jose Pedraza. He is now 24-1 in his career. Let's go up to the ring to Bernardo.
José, mencionaste que tú querías y tenías ese nuevo enfoque para volver a ser campeón mundial. ¿Cuál fue la clave para esta noche? You mentioned that you had a renewed focus and desire. What was the key to victory tonight?
Mira, en realidad la clave era trabajarlo mucho, más al cuerpo de lo que trabajamos, pero vimos que teníamos una cortadura en la nariz y decidimos aprovecharlo y estaba sangrando mucho. No sé qué estaba pasando, que no en ningún momento detuvieron la pelea para revisarlo ni nada, pero sí, debí trabajarlo más el cuerpo. Llegué con buenos golpes al cuerpo, pero no era suficiente. El chamaco, el joven es muy fuerte, aguanta muchos golpes, es muy bueno.
Yo, let me know. Should I stay on this card, or should I go to the Showtime card? But anyway, you know, it's like a French stream, you know.
You have been a champion at 130
so that doesn't really work out. I think I am interested in the Trout Charlo fight. The first round is right now going on. 1 minute to go.
Puerto Rico va a tener otra vez un campeón.
He says, my desire is to once again fight for the WBO world title. We know that's Ray Beltran, and pretty soon Puerto Rico will have a new champion. Tess, we send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Bernardo. That was a very strong effort from Jose Pedraza. 24th win in the career of the former junior lightweight champion, hoping to someday get a lightweight title shot. We have a welterweight title shot coming up from one of the very best in the world. Terence Bud Crawford taking on Jeff Horn in moments to set the table. Andre Ward with Adnan Verk. Take it away, Verk.
All right, thanks so much, Tess. You know, you mentioned Pedraza, the fact he only had 12 knockouts in 24 fights, but Moran's defense coming in a little bit suspect, Andre, and we saw that as Pedraza was able to overwhelm him, especially in later rounds.
Of course, this was an even matchup from the beginning. It was a nip and tuck affair. It was back and forth, and sometimes in a fight like that, somebody has to make up their mind that they want to be the boss. Pedraza did that. He started to pull away, create separation like we talked about earlier. He got his hand raised, and he's now proven that he's still a player in the lightweight division.
You mentioned being a boss. Rick Ross going to be in the house as well. We'll talk more about Bud Crawford specifically, but honestly, Teddy Atlas took a closer look at Bud Crawford. As Tess said, the best pound-for-pound fighter in America, maybe the world. When it comes to the physical, the mental, the personal, Teddy Atlas went one-on-one with Bud. Take a look.
Now there's what? How many belts still out there? Three more were still out there, right?
Yeah.
And somebody named Mr. Indagno. Indagno. There he is, that man. Right there. He figures.
Mais surtout, il doit répondre présent.
Aussi au challenger d'avancer quand même.
In the first round, he mistaken.
He got that message, didn't he?
Correct.
Real quick. Let's run the tape to see what happens here. This big, strong guy. Did you have him figured out already completely?
Oh, yeah. I had him figured out in the first round.
Yeah. I think you had him figured out when the contract was out.
Deep breath. That right hook to the body.
Let's go back on that. You make him miss the big shot, and then you punch inside another big shot. Take us through this.
Well, he threw the left, and I come back with a body shot.
Inside that right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But it was the left hand to the head that you caught him. That was nice. And that's what you were talking about, punching in between punches. Right. Yeah, again, you make him miss the big one, and then you punch right inside that big one. And then you look to throw a body shot, but he pushed you.
Yeah, he pushed me off guard.
But you know what? You had the right idea.
Right.
Because it's going to be there later.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. And then you track him down. He's got his head laying in the alleyway, and you put something on him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know the fight's over now, right?
I mean, yeah.
We still got another round to go, but...
See, in his mind, he like, whoa. He didn't expect...
Why did I get on that plane?
Right.
All right. Go ahead, talk to us. This is This is the third round.
So I know I hurted them in the round before.
Yep.
And now I'm just setting up, you know what I mean, my next shots.
You know you got them, don't you?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna test them out before I hit
pushed
with
them
the
here.
left.
Now you're gonna pull them in now?
Yeah.
Oh. Oof. I'm glad we already ate lunch.
Oh yeah.
Man. Let's take another look at it. What you do here is you pull them in.
Man, this is funny.
That wide shot,
Teddy Atlas doing his early 80s Mike Tyson routine, you know what I mean? The older brother thing.
Here's a look from the other angle. You can really see it. Oh. Again, in between that wide shot. Beautiful work. And once again, take another look at it. It's pretty like this. We might as well look at it a couple times. Left hand right in between there. Follow up the right, but it wasn't as right. And top of the world, Ma.
Oh, yeah. Right.
There ain't a belt out there you don't own now. Right. You got them all. And
this whole thing has the feel of like a social worker.
I mean, we see you up in the air.
Anybody watch the Corner?
Take us there.
I was just so happy.
Anyway.
I just filled with joy. You know, this is something that I set my sights on, and you know, just capture.
This dude is a bad boy.
In that type of fashion was remarkable.
All right, thanks to Teddy Atlas for that. Mark Kriegel wrote a brilliant piece about Bud Crawford. This is a guy, Andre, who's been shot at 8 times. He's lucky to be alive. His mother gave him tough love. Wouldn't tell him she loved him. Dad was in and out of his life. How is he one of these guys? You see this so often in boxing. You can channel that adversity into success inside the ring.
Well, Terence Crawford obviously has done
no
that.
disrespect,
I mean, he started
though.
from the bottom, and he's worked his way all the way to the top. And he's taken every negative thing that's happened to him, every struggle that he's had, and he's turned it into a positive. And he's a guy in our sport that should be celebrated. He's dedicated himself to the sport of boxing, and that's why he's considered one of, if not, the best fighter in the world.
Yeah, as Mark Kriegel said, he goes from sadism to empathy. It's an amazing life story of Bud Crawford. That's why so many are rooting for him tonight to be successful. Bud Crawford getting set for Jeff Horn. Of course, that is the main event here as we are building up to it. And for Crawford, he knows this is his moment. He wants to take full advantage of.
This links-inspired golf course is full of challenges, from the fescue-lined fairways to the sod wall bunkers to the ever-present elements. This is Eagle's Nest Golf Club. Eagle's Nest was designed by Doug Carrick, noted Canadian golf architect. What do you think his vision was for this link-style course?
Eagle's Nest is built on an old sand and gravel operation, and I think he also wanted to build a golf course that was a link-style course that's reminiscent of a course you might see in the UK, but just north of Toronto. The golf course demands you hit accurate tee shots, not only accurate tee shots, but second shots as well. You definitely want to avoid the pot bunkers that are out there and the tall fescue grass.
Eagle's Nest offers many challenges to golfers, but great rewards. To ensure your financial legacy is prepared for all challenges, contact an Asante advisor.
For all your investment, retirement, tax, estate, and insurance planning needs, your legacy requires a complete solution. Asante Wealth Management. Be well advised.
Shit, Trout went down. Not down.
On paper, they are one of the most feared teams on the planet.
Belgium bristling with these star names.
On the pitch, they always seem to fade away.
The top-ranked team at these championships, not out.
For Belgium's golden generation, it's time to deliver. The 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia is coming to CTV and TSN.
It's a funny thing about the future. You don't wake up one day.
Il arrive de loin, mais là, elle a touché. Elle a touché la grosse droite de Jermell Charlo encore.
Fucking Jermell Charlo is all over Trout, man. Trout once again on his sea legs.
Mais quand il les donne, On sent. Alors ma
On his
question,
Bambi
est-ce
legs,
que
man.
Austin Trout veut pas tomber comme
Like a
il a fait
newborn.
face à Jermell Charlo, le grand frère de Jermell.
Il a perdu au point contre Jermell.
Fucking Austin Trout, man. His legs aren't I don't know, man. Something's off about his legs. Always kinda was.
Face à Jermell, plus offensif.
Not the strongest legs.
Un boxeur technique, tactique. Et c'est vrai que le public siffle un peu, il est plus dans la réserve.
Now with age and mileage, you know,
Attention si ça va pas jouer
that shit
contre
doesn't
lui.
help.
On appelle souvent les boxeurs qui veulent rester sur le ring. Et honnêtement, Austin Trout, c'est un boxeur qu'on aime voir boxer, qui a une boxe formidable, qui a une tactique, qui a une technique. Et là, voilà, quand il est offensif comme ça, on aime le voir boxer. Et je voudrais pas le voir dans les travers, de pouvoir rester.
Fourth round of this Austin Trout Charlo fight. I picked Charlo to stop Austin Trout, man. Actually put a little bit of money down. But that bet actually is already fucked, man, because of the Flanagan loss. I picked Flanagan to beat Hooker on points. Yeah, anyway, I saw a fucking replay, man, of Trout getting knocked down. That's why I switched over.
De la deuxième partie du combat, c'est pour ça le public siffle
whoever is right now listening.
Oui, mais l'impression qui se dégage tout de même sous les, c'est que ce qu'il a l'air impuissant.
It's for the Crawford
Il n'a
fight,
jamais touché, quand même, Jermell Charlo.
Man, Charlo complaining in his corner. Frustration. That's what Austin Trout can do
ce que propose
his best right now, you know what I mean? Be a spoiler.
C'est destructeur, évidemment. On voit votre pointage sous les 3 points d'avance avant l'entame du 5e round.
I guess they gave Trout the first round, the French
tout simplement, mon cher Jermell, il faut qu'ils prennent le risque. Il faut qu'ils disent qu'effectivement, c'est la famille Charlo, mais lui, c'est pas Jermell, c'est chez Jermell.
Was too hot. And if that's what it takes to get your fighter in the right mindset, I'm all for it, because a fighter needs a reason to fight beyond the norm, beyond money, beyond title belts. And if you have to feel like your back is against the wall to go out there and perform and put on a show, I'm all for it once again.
It's just me against the world, right? That's all Jeff Horn is thinking right now.
He's a long way away from home, so I understand the mindset.
Yeah, well, he's the nicest man in sports when it comes to Australian sports. But, of course, that moment when he beat Manny Pacquiao, he became an enormous star. Underdog tonight, he was the underdog back then when his life changed forever.
It's hard to believe because every time I think about it, it feels like a dream.
There it is. The hair is standing up in my neck.
Jeff finds a way to win. So deep within him is that have to win mentality. And that, of course, is a real driving force.
He's finishing like a warrior.
Every fight from here on is going to be a test and a huge test. Because once you've got the build, everybody wants to take it off you.
Trout once again getting fucked up.
About fighting Pacquiao again, but it would be nice to beat him and prove the first time wasn't a fluke.
Like I said to Manny Pacquiao prior, I said, Manny, you're going to think you're back in the streets of the Philippines where you're a hungry kid where you had nothing. This is where this kid's going to take you. He laughed at
Jeff
me.
Fennick.
I do think Freddie and Manny are probably underestimating Jeff.
I don't know if it's a dream, but I keep seeing my hand getting raised in that ring and that
two
belt
Jeffs.
around my waist.
Both rugged dudes, man. Underrated boxing ability.
They both came out to thunderous applause.
What a build-up it's been. It's exciting, mate. This is awesome. Jeff can't afford to sit still, which is... And
he just laughs at him.
I think if Jeff Horn, man, if he would set himself to punch, he'd be more dangerous, man. But he does a lot of like shifting.
He was stronger.
You know?
He wasn't ready for what he was going to receive. He'd fought some classy boxers in the past, but he hadn't fought a rough guy.
Strong guy, man.
You hit me, I want to hit you back. You hit me, I'm not going to show you I'm hurt.
All right, here we go. This is round number 9.
You know, but Horn, when he got hurt in that round,
in pain, but sitting down and relaxing just for a few seconds,
was kind of lucky,
I was
man.
able to gather my thoughts back together.
Show me something in this round. We're going to stop the fight. That's it.
Okay, now I know I'm behind the 8 ball at the moment. I need to show this guy and everyone around the world.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao had it, man, but with Manny Pacquiao, I don't know, he might get you in trouble with technique, but the technique can go out of the window, kind of. He's not the best finisher, I feel like, especially now at old age. Old age. Now that he's older, you know, not the best finisher. We've seen that, man. Algieri, I mean, he's been dropping dudes for a while now, but the finishing ability has been kind of waning. Not as precise, you know. I don't know if he really ever was like a pinpoint type of guy, you know. He's more of like overwhelm you, sting you with shots, you know, overwhelm you until you like surprised by a punch or whatever. Enough power to put you away.
And you're on that such
Speed.
high, you can't stay up on that high forever, and then you kind of get to a point.
Not
of
really a
going,
punch
okay,
picker.
What's next? What's the next plan?
They always say the toughest thing is to become world champion. It's tough, but even tougher than that is to stay world champion. Jeff Horn's a long way from getting mentioned as a great fighter. He beat a great fighter, but that was one fight. It's about longevity.
The new thing is to maintain the world title. I want to be the best, and I want to be remembered as one of the best Australian boxers.
Terrific storytelling there on Jeff Horn. Speaking of stars, Roy Jones Jr. and the star of Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, getting ready for this title fight here in Las Vegas. Everybody wants to be a part of it here. We've set the stage when it comes to both of these fighters. All right, champ, who wins tonight? Prediction time.
Wow. I feel like the will of both fighters are the same, but the skill level is different. Horn has a lot of will, determination, tough, strong guy. He's coming to win, as we mentioned earlier, but so is Terence Crawford. The difference, he's got more tricks in his bag. I think it'll be a close fight for the first 4 or 5 rounds, but I think class will start to show over time. I think Terence pulls away, and he gets his hand raised, probably with an emphatic knockout somewhere around the 9th or 10th round.
Well, Jeff Horn's going to hope to work the body and try to get that impact.
I don't see that, man. Knockout? I think Jeff Horn goes the distance. Tough fight for Terence Crawford, man. If Terence Crawford just sticks to boxing, you know, if he doesn't try to prove that he's now a strong welterweight or whatever, I think that actually increases his chances of like maybe stopping Horn, you know. I think he will only make it tougher for himself if he tries to I don't know. Fight too much in the trenches. Oh, spin move by Jermell Charlo, man. Did he get hit? Did he get hit with something?
Just the Dean Lonergan, the promoter. It's Glenn Rushton, the trainer.
Oh, Charlo just got hit with a shot, man. Walked into a left hand.
Most important, they're trying to sell Jeff Horn on Jeff Horn. Think about Rushton for a moment, the trainer. Horn
What is happening, man?
a 19-year-old kid who was being bullied. He made him a world champion, an Olympian, the most important,
Is Trout waking up?
important commodity that the Horn camp has is Horn's belief in himself. They're selling Horn on Horn.
They sure are. As he makes his final preparations, you have been in this spot.
Yeah.
A guy who won a title, a guy who defended titles. That is the charge now for Jeff Horn. If it is to happen, if Jeff Horn somehow comes here stateside.
Charlo having a hard time with Trout.
How does it happen?
Trout.
It's going to be a miracle, in my opinion. It's going to be
Weil
a
sich
miracle.
traut.
But I can tell you that Horn just needs to be Horn. He needs to make it difficult and awkward for Terence Crawford. Give him different rhythms. He's pretty good at that. He moves in, he moves out, he gets around you, he throws leaping shots, round looping shots, stuff that Terence hasn't been used to and hasn't seen. You know, a fighter like Horn. So I think Horn just needs to be himself, go out there, be aggressive, and let those combination flies. 1 or 2 might miss, but guess what? 3 and 4 might connect.
Look at guys like Paulie Malignaggi and Timothy Bradley, man. Newly retired, you know, but they don't get like ridiculously out of shape. Then you look at Maidana.
address him.
Yeah.
What should be Bud's
It's a
strategy?
shame.
Well, the jab is very important. Get that jab established early. That'll slow down.
That's also easily said from my perspective, right? Sitting on the couch,
you know, and don't get too
chilling and
relaxed
shit.
on his defense. You know, Horn surprised you sometimes with shots that you don't see, looping shots, combinations. So be himself, stay calm, go to the body,
No
break
shit,
him down,
Barry
use that
Hunter.
jab, and
Barry Hunter's on Trout's ass. I'm having a hard time with Austin Trout, the name.
And in moments, we have the two combatants. We are ready for our main event. This was the scene at the weigh-in yesterday when Nebraska's Bud Crawford said, hey, I like that world title belt. That's going to be mine. We will see if he can deliver on that next.
I finally figured out what car to get. Now, where to find the best deal?
You know, why don't I help?
What's that?
Car Gurus. Color?
Silver. Car Gurus?
Low miles, 2 grand below market value, 5-star dealer rating. Ooh, I'm beat.
Let's do it your way, then.
I heard that.
Go to Car Gurus today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
Most people come to LA with big dreams. We came with big appetites.
With Expedia, you can book a
Il
flight,
va
hotel,
peut-être déstabiliser les champions. C'est toujours face à un champion qui a l'habitude de mettre les gens par KO, qui n'y arrive pas, où il se crée, alors je ne vais pas dire un doute, mais un agacement, comme vous dites.
Oh, attention quand même.
Mais attention quand même parce qu'il touche. Attention, on voit un Austin Trout plus actif, qui met plus de coups, qui déstabilise Jermell Charlo. On est dans la deuxième partie du combat. On voit le lion qui essaie de mordre sa proie, mais c'est compliqué.
J'ai l'impression qu'il est embêté par le fait qu'il soit gaucher trop
Oh.
passer dans cette gauche.
Austin Trout is putting the pressure on Charlo, man.
Pour moi, aussi trop de
Charlo.
stratégie, il a laissé passer l'orage. Il va jouer sur la condition physique, tout simplement, de Jermell Charlo. En le déstabilisant.
Trout working off Charlo's jab.
Qui n'est pas facile à toucher.
Yeah, Austin Trout is the type of dude that is like happy to lose on the scorecards, kind of. Feels to me like that.
On voit les percutes.
Always
Il y
competitive.
en a un qui a été touché aussi au foie.
Ouais, c'est de part et d'autre, hein, on a du mal à...
Maybe not the most naturally gifted, but
quelques centimètres.
he's oh, elbow by Trout. Set up his
Moi,
right
je pense que voilà,
uppercut.
pour Jermell Charlo, c'est de ne pas essayer de
Yeah,
gagner
but he's very skillful, you know.
avant la limite, mais surtout au point de distribuer comme il a fait lors de ses premiers rounds. Dites bonjour, mon cher Jérôme. Je crois que c'est une fille que vous connaissez d'ailleurs.
Non, très peu. Le 8e round. Et Charlo qui avance sur Austin Trout.
Quand ça frappe, c'est très compliqué à esquiver.
Et s'il décidait d'accélérer encore, Jermell Charlo. Oh, quel crochet ici. Ouais, il a touché son crochet, il a touché.
Charlo going off on Trout, but not as effective.
Et il faut savoir que voilà,
More
on est des
flash
boxeurs,
than
mais il n'y a pas de
substance.
honte à avoir quand quelqu'un frappe plus fort que vous. Le but, c'est de gagner. Donc, trouver la tactique adéquate et la façon de pouvoir gagner. Voilà, c'est pour moi les priorités. Vous avez en face de vous quelqu'un qui frappe fort. Bah, tout simplement, vous essayez de déjouer.
I'm kind of rooting for
Et ne pas rester en face.
Charlo to get the knockout, man. I've got money on that shit.
Ou volontaire, je sais pas comment on pourrait le dire. Et trouver la stratégie pour pouvoir gagner tout simplement.
Oh wait, did I put money on Charlo decision or did I put money on knockout? Gotta look at that shit.
Voilà, mais aussi le truc, il faut qu'il en fasse un petit peu quand même. Il faut qu'il déstabilise un peu plus, surtout avec ce bras avant. Voilà, comme il le fait si bien. On le sent un petit peu sur la retenue, même si là il a bien enchaîné avec son bras.
Man, it's like Charlo's in that spot. They talk so much shit, he and his brother, right? Now that he maybe can't get the knockout, you know, as easily. All the talk of like, yeah, I'm gonna outdo my brother and all that. Now it's backfiring, you know. He already went like 8 rounds. It's competitive still, kind of. Now you're searching for the knockout. You don't want to overcommit. You know, keep yourself open.
Jermell et qu'il a boxé Jermell, il dit voilà, j'ai pris un KO face à.
Il perd au point, il perd. Ah, il prend un KO, non, il prend pas de KO contre Jarretter Si Jarretter il s'est arrêté à la deuxième, pardon.
Contre Jarretter, il prend un KO où il est arrêté avant. Il se dit est-ce que j'ai envie de finir debout? Est-ce que c'est ça qui l'empêche de boxer? Je sais qu'il a fini face au frère Jermell Charlo, mais c'est surtout voilà, finir debout.
I bet like Charlo's like thinking, oh shit, I talked so much about the knockout and everything, like, but you don't want to lose, you know, you don't want to be reckless, so you almost want to cruise, you know, you almost want to cruise with the decision. But at the same time, like with every round, every combination by fucking Trout, you know, you're eating your words, man.
Face à lui, il aura son compatriote Léo Santa Cruz. Deux boxeurs qui se sont affrontés.
Oh shit, yeah, I picked Charlo to go the distance, win a decision, you know? And also Crawford to win a decision. So my bet to work out. Oh. Did Trout do a Trout got knocked down, man. I wonder if he did a split, man. I kind of missed it. The famous Trout split.
Peu importe l'issue, il finit debout ou à genoux. Il faut vraiment qu'il donne tout parce que il est l'ombre de lui-même. Et là,
made a split, did a split.
50% parce qu'on l'a vu.
It's late. It's early, actually. Fucking 5 o'clock in the morning.
Qui nous démontre ce soir. Mais maintenant, voilà, il y a l'appréhension psychologique. Face à lui, il a un gros frappeur. Alors, est-ce que...
Oh, right hand by Charlo. Fuck Trout, hang on. That's how easily I change my tune, man.
Alors, est-ce que c'est cette droite qui paralyse
following the loot
de boxer comme il sait faire? Je pense que oui.
Yeah, but Trout is in shape, you know? In shape to take a beating.
Même s'il doit faire autrement.
Not that he's taking a beating, you know, but when he gets touched, he looks kinda stiff. Yeah, both Horn and Crawford are in the ring. Michael Buffer announcing. Should I switch it up?
On a l'impression que voilà, aussi trop il boxe comme un challenger, il reste pour rester debout.
I like how like five people are watching this or listening to this.
Voilà, il a la tactique, il a la technique.
Oh, 3 people. That's beautiful.
Déstabiliser Jermell Charlo.
Hey, I don't mind.
Surtout
I'm gonna stay on.
Qui déstabilise Charlo, mais voilà, quand le lion attaque,
il fonctionne bien son gros uppercut à Jermell Charlo.
Oh.
Oui, très beau bras arrière. Belle combinaison de Austin Trout. Ouais, il doit déstabiliser.
Yeah.
Jermell Charlo.
Fucking rumble. I'm watching live action, that's why I'm staying over here with the Trout and Charlo, so you know what I mean? And these suckers in the top ring, Pedraza starts with the rumbling, we're gonna switch over, don't you worry. 3 people, maybe the one dude that's watching right now. Broadcasting to one dude.
Oui, derrière la tête. Alors, pour répondre à votre phrase, mon cher Jérôme, c'est que tout simplement, c'est un puncher. Un puncher, c'est quelqu'un voilà, qui compte énormément.
Like if you broadcast it to one dude, not only are you embarrassed for yourself, right? You're also thinking about the other guy. You know, what's his deal?
C'est assez compliqué. Et surtout, quand il a face à lui quelqu'un qui bouge bien, qui arrive à se déplacer. Mais on a pu le voir lors des premières secondes, ses attaques fulgurantes.
On a 3 knockdowns à 0 pour Jermell Charlo et 3 dernières reprises de ce championnat du monde.
10th round,
des super welter.
Trout Charlo.
Le champion n'est clairement pas en difficulté.
Unbelievable fight. I tell you people. This is great. You wouldn't believe it. Like these 2 black guys, man, they're beating crap out of each other. It's just great to watch. Oh my goodness. Oh, Charlo going for it, running into punches. Oh, good right hand, but oh. Goodness gracious. Yeah, Trout still doing his thing in there, man. It's percolating, but I'm gonna switch over now. These dudes are facing off. You know what I mean? I think in the first round even we will, oh my goodness, we will be able to tell what type of fight this will be, you know? With we, I mean you and me. Alright, dude?
A little 6-month-old baby, and she has come here. The family has come here to Vegas to see this. The great challenge to take on the simply sublime, excellently skilled Terence Bud Crawford. We are underway for the world title fight. Crawford and Horn. And let it be noted, Robert Byrd, the 3rd man inside the ropes.
Yep.
The veteran referee, so credible.
Jeff Horn on the front foot, like I expected.
Because there's a tendency for Byrd, Robert Byrd, the referee.
Now, at this point, we can actually say that Terence Crawford, turning him, taking ring center, that he's a southpaw. He's almost never fighting orthodox, really.
You see right there, right out the gate, Terence is controlling distance. Every time Horn
Left hand to the body.
he gets out just
Like Crawford. Ooh. Oh, he's sharp. Horn looking a little bit wild. Gotta get into his rhythm before he gets like clipped with something. Or maybe it's smart, man, to fucking rush the guy, Crawford, you know, trying to hit him with something. Who knows? We don't know the remedy to beat Crawford. Oh. Crawford countering well, man.
That's the shot I'll be worried about early on with Crawford.
Kill shots.
He gets hit early on with big shots. And that you saw Horn drop low like he was going to the body and looped a looping right hand and caught Crawford backing out. Back there again.
Oh. Oh shit, man. Crawford looks like he looked against Gamboa. Like in the later rounds, the sharp counter punching, just like putting your opponent into position for the next punch, you know? Maneuvering a motherfucker.
Especially compared to last summer, Tim, and we understand the weight issue yesterday on the scale for Jeff Horn. His body has changed. He's far more muscular and cut up.
Like Richard Pryor said, man. He sparred Muhammad Ali was playing him like an instrument. Richard Pryor started dancing.
Terence off the mark right there. It's hard to judge Horn's movement. Horn just doesn't attack straight on. He does every now and then, but he gives you a lot of movement in front. Different looks. Him switching up, going to the outside. That's what Horn is pretty good at, disguising his attacks.
It's a contrasting style.
Footwork.
It's also a contrasting type of
Ricky Hatton, Dominic Cruz, martial arts.
bullied mercilessly. The other guy got tossed out of at least 5 schools.
He's not one-dimensional, Horn, you know?
Well, it's funny. He's been bullied. Now he's trying to be the bully in the ring.
I don't know if that's
ironic.
Irony or destiny.
Making Crawford think in there.
Pretty good looking opening rounds here. Good
Better believe the footwork of Horn is making Crawford think in there.
Horn had the big right hand. Crawford had a couple good combinations, including the work to the belt.
Crawford looking incredibly sharp, though.
The two-division world champion sitting with us,
Definitely Crawford's round.
talk the good and the bad for Jeff Horn.
You know what?
Fanboys would say, easy work.
Easy. You know, it's the opening bell. Terence didn't land any really clean shots, a few of them. But you know what? I'm looking to see him actually give Horn a cut, probably midway point or anytime early, because Horn has thin skin. And I've seen him get cut in the
Et ça va être long, ces 30 dernières secondes.
Has he thin skin or is he fair skinned?
Hooks from the middle sometimes. You saw him throwing the right hooks. Sometimes
The white boy's dilemma, to be honest with you, especially in combat sports. You don't see black crack.
a couple of times during that last round.
Three-time Fighter of the Year, the current 2017 ESPN Fighter of the Year, also been honored by the Boxing Writers of America. To carry the weight from lightweight up to welterweight and win a crown. That is what he's trying to do tonight. The American from Omaha, Bud Crawford, round number 2.
Here's Horn coming in, trying to land the right hand.
And there was that opportunity for that right hook as Horn came charging in.
The way you beat a softball, you got to land that right hand. Kryptonite to a softball. Straight right hand, looping right hand. Change the trajectory on it. Go down to the body, to the head.
But I don't see him like getting busted up or anything, you know. Why were they talking about that, man?
Is the trainer of Bud Crawford. Bernardo, what was he saying to Bud at the end of that last round?
But Horn does have those high cheekbones.
He's got to avoid the burst that Jeff Horn tries to come in with, but not moving straight back. He's got to look for angles and not straight back. That's the key.
But still trying to figure out the timing of Horn because he's in and out.
He's very awkward.
Very awkward.
Very aggressive, very awkward as he switches.
If Horn can start working when they're in these clinches.
You don't like what's going on, tie your man up.
No, boy.
Robert Bird's going to take control of the situation right away.
Yeah, who's at fault for that, you know? Too much holding.
With both the charges and the chief seconds.
I can't blame Crawford, you know what I mean? But that's what he's supposed to do. But
Terence still trying to have a hard time finding that rhythm. See, he can't even
I
land
think
that
Jeff
jab
Horn's
right now. And every time Horn steps
best chance is to work on the inside, man. To work on the clinch, in the clinch. Good job by the ref, allowing them to work out.
gets close to you.
Oh.
Left hand to the body from Crawford.
Great, that's how you weaken the stronger guy. Or a bigger guy like him.
Undoubtedly a bigger guy. Naturally the bigger
Oh
man.
boy.
Not the better athlete.
Crawford finding his timing now.
Plus the left hand that landed moments ago with the reaction time of Crawford.
On the lead, you know. Oh! Look at Jeff Horn, man. Stutter stepping.
All right, now you see the transition. Terence now, he was walking.
Jeff Horn is dangerous, man.
Horn doesn't fight that well bagging up. When you put pressure on him.
Yo, Terence Crawford is a strong, scrawny dude. Oh, oh. Like, Jeff Horn is starting to get going here, man. Getting into his rough house groove. Rough shit set up by slick shit, actually. Oh, walked into a shot though here. Tough guy, man. Oh. I wonder if he will get disheartened, man, walking onto shots like that. To the body especially, you know. Uppercuts. Beautiful timing by Crawford.
That body shot that last round from Bud Crawford. That was the signature punch of that second round.
Absolutely, and those shots will take effect later on in the fight.
We're listening to Glenn Rushton instilling yet more confidence in Jeff Horn, telling him how well he did. Rushton's an interesting character, part Tony Robbins, part Chuck Norris.
Let him go. There you
made
go.
a fortune in real estate. He's a karate teacher by trade.
He's an unbelievable media darling down in Australia. Been so many feature stories done on him. The book on Jeff Horn, major motion picture coming out. All of that centering on the relationship of trainer to fighter. That time he came forward and Bud nailed it.
Right hook.
Charging in with the right hand, and now they exchange in the middle of the ring.
Yo, fuck, I missed it.
More the aggressor that time, doubling up the jab, trying to come with a straight left hand. Horn fires back. Good stuff here.
Now, Terence sees the opportunity that once he counters, Horn steps back with his hands down to try to reset. And he's following him out with combinations at times. Great adjustment.
Horn throws his punches, falls in, and looks to sort of bully on the inside.
There was another right hand from Horn that came in there.
He's sniping him on the way in. Stop. And for an American
Horn actually threw an elbow to the ref. The ref's chest.
Do not mistake me with Manny Pacquiao. I am bigger, I am stronger, I am in my prime.
Ooh.
There is Miss Deborah, Bud Crawford's mother. Outstanding feature story on ESPN.com, written by our Mark Kriegel this week, detailing the dynamic relationship between Deborah and her son, and all that Bud Crawford overcame to arrive.
Oh, big left hand.
Top of a career.
There it is. Terence Crawford followed him out with straight punches.
Horn willing to still come through the front door. Makes it fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, Horn is taking a little bit too much, man. For him to go the distance. Oh, a little too reckless. Looks tired also, kind of gassing.
Remember, cuts are always a concern with Jeff Horn. If you recall, Horn
jumping in with wild right hands, you know. I talked about calculated missing with Jeff Horn, but obviously against a certain level of opposition, you know. I think you can get away with shit like that. Oh. Yeah. Terence Crawford making an example out of him right now.
Well, you know who's more fundamentally sound? It's Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
He's making Horn pay for all his mistakes, dropping his hands, moving out at distance.
Wow. Horn is a little too reckless here, man. Oh my goodness. Walking into shots, man.
You got some blood over the right eye.
Getting his ass beat. He's getting his ass beaten.
She made Crawford who he is. It was her withholding respect and affection and acknowledgement made him the fighter he is.
Yeah, man. They're gonna pull him out, I bet, man. Not right now, but give it a couple of rounds. This ain't going the distance, man. My bet is fucked. He's getting slapped around.
Mistakes, dropping his hands as he's pulling away, and Terence is smart enough to follow him and land that 1-2. They put a grease on that.
Dude has heart, you know. He'll try. But the longer the round goes on, you know, Crawford separates himself.
Punches in the last round, dominating round for the American Bud Crawford, landing 17 power punches, 46 of those he's thrown. We noted that earlier in our tail of the tape. If there is one stat you look at with Bud Crawford, it's his accuracy of power punches. He's dynamic with it. Joe Cortez, longtime referee here in Vegas, our unofficial judge ringside tonight. He has Crawford up 3-0.
You know what this fight reminds me of?
What's that, Tim?
Ricky Hatton, Floyd Mayweather.
How so?
Ricky Hatton was trying to get close, trying to get to the body.
Like the way he holds his hands, he kind of reminds me of Donald Curry.
What Terence is doing
Crawford.
right now. Letting him run into shots. Letting him fall into punches.
Kind of chest high.
Mayweather also ended it with one clean shot.
Fight's not over yet.
A check hook.
Yes. As he was coming in, lunging in, similar to Jeff Horn. As the fight go on, fighters weaken. And those are your opportunities when you land shots that you were landing earlier. Guess what? They hurt a lot more.
Let him go, Jeff. Let him go.
Later on in the fight.
Hey.
I mean, there's nothing that Horn is doing here that's going to slow down Bud Crawford later in the fight. He's not working the body. No. He's not even
Flush left hand.
The strength battle.
Crawford now having fun.
That's a very good point, and should be noted because we talk so much about that being the one way.
Crawford, man, is a mean son of a bitch.
Crawford was insistent when I spoke. I'm not nearly as small as you guys think I am coming up in this division. I mean, his contemporaries in the amateurs are now welterweight champs or have been welterweight champs, and he's not awed by them at all. The only guy who's a bit younger was Errol Spence.
Horn's getting a good whooping, man.
Plotted out ways he's going to beat each of them. His move to welterweight was not a casual one. It was pretty thought out. And if you look at his back, he's a welterweight.
Broad and muscular. He also has reach just beyond his measurable height. Another good lead left hand from the Nebraskan. And he looks confident.
Oh, that was a good right hand by Horn.
Let's check in with Adnan Ver and Andre Ward.
All right, Tess, thank you very much. Bud Crawford so far is just relentless with that precision. How impressed have you been with the way he's dictating this fight so far?
Well, it's just the way we talked about in the beginning. I think it's playing out just the way we predicted. The fight for the first couple of rounds was nip and tuck. It's tight. Horn is hard charging. Crawford is trying to box and get his range and start to, get comfortable in the ring. But then all of a sudden, you start to see class showing. You start to show the difference in skill. Crawford is slowly starting to pull away. He's countering. He's leading. He's doing it all. But Horn is still dangerous. this until the final bell.
Yeah, Jeff Horn has that fan-friendly style, the fact he wants to attack. And you pointed out, even though Crawford's winning, Horn has not backed down and is trying to do his best to counterpunch.
Well, that's who he is. Like we said, again, in the onset, he's not going to be turned away easy. He's got a big punch, and he's certainly trying to land it.
His trainer says he's got a granite chin, but right now he needs lightning to strike twice for the Thunder down.
The way you take punches in the early rounds is different than the way you take them in the later rounds. So let's see as the fight progresses.
Let's go back to Joe Tessitore, Tim Bradley, and Mark Riegel ringside.
Thank you, Adnan. Great to have Andre Ward, of course, retired last year, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world when he did, and now it is Bud Crawford and Vasily Lomachenko who vie for that title to be called the world's best. Tonight would be a crowning achievement to become a 3-division champion if Crawford keeps up like this. Good start to round number 5.
Crawford's sharp right now, just sharp shooting from the outside. He wants to stay right in front of him, blocking counter.
That right hook, man.
Capitalize on all the mistakes Horn is doing. Horn is not even using his jab, guys, to get in.
He's befuddled. He's befuddled. He's being so thoroughly outboxed, and he's even being.
He's like banking a lot on that right hand, man. Yeah, I feel like Horn's best hand, his most potent hand is his left hand.
And they are physically strong. Terence showing his strength
It's especially with that shifting style and shit. You know, the jab got to come into play. Power jab.
Didn't have in his resume is he'd never been
falling step jab.
as Horn was against Pacquiao. He'd never endured a 9th round as Horn did against Pacquiao.
He's looking too much for that right hand.
You're seeing with Bud Crawford. Now you see what?
Bud Crawford don't want to be here. If he's there, he wants to be there. He shouldn't be on the ropes like that. He's comfortable. He's in control. He knows his range now. Now he's executing this attack. He's winning every aspect of the ring right now. Inside, middle, outside, even a wrestling battle.
They're just being extra dirty right now. Oh, he's just talking to Horn. This is the same ref from the Conor McGregor Mayweather fight when he did the speech to McGregor. That's just like he piling on the guy that's just getting a beating. You know what I mean? Crawford's roughhousing like a motherfucker. Oh. Horn getting busted up now.
Saying it's just stupid. It's silly what's being said. He got the sense yesterday when we met with Bud Crawford.
Left side of his face is swelling up. Oh, physically getting bullied. Oh, those body shots have Horn on the run.
Who needs to feel deeply personal. He needs to feel some affront.
You've talked about the dichotomy of somebody who's a great humanitarian, who's gone off to do charitable efforts in Africa, compared to the guy who gets in this ring.
Yeah, he enjoys hurting.
Horn is so reliant on that style, that jumping in, jumping out style, that he will just jump in for the sake of it without really having a target. You know what I mean? Walk into punches, fall off balance, fight hard. But not smart. Smart, you know. Oh, good. Shut up. Listen to the instructions. Stay on him. When you go, you have to really go. Stop. Oh, shit. Broken rhythm pressure. I mean, this guy's actually preaching the name of his new martial art. You know what I mean? This dude is a salesman, his trainer. Like he had me sold on that style. You know what I mean? Like just by seeing like some type of similarities in different martial artists and even boxers. You know, I was interested definitely. But in going against pound for pound dude, you know what I mean? Switch hitter, like A-class dude. fundamentals, the looks. I mean, that shit won't work, man.
You know, giving him different looks, giving different fronts, thinking he's going to attack him, coming straight in, and coming off to the side with something.
I see that. I knew that was the case, but I thought Horn came a little bit more prepared, you know. He seems so right now he seems one-dimensional, actually. Trying the same shit over and over, you know what I mean? Looking too much for the right hand. Getting caught off balance, man. Look at Terence Crawford, man. His shit is like minimalism to perfection, you know? Subtle, on balance, little movement, turning, firing shots from deceptive angles. Shit Horn is not seeing, man. Walking onto kill shots, basically. Size is all size and toughness is all that's keeping him up, really. Oh man, walking onto straight punches, it's ridiculous. Look at him. Oh, uppercut. Yeah. This won't go too much longer, man.
His undisputed championship with a body shot knockout of
I think, yeah.
Yes, and I want to see more body punches from Terence.
Jermell Valencia says, has Horn landed any good shots? Couple? I don't know.
But those body shots will have an effect later on.
The shit he's doing is not working. He's giving himself angles. He's confusing himself, man. Shit ain't working on Crawford.
It was like fighting the Black Panther in there. No, he was no joke when I sparred him. Now he's going downstairs. That took the air out of
Yeah, man. Crawford is that good, you know what I mean? It's not that Horn is a bad fighter, man. Don't think that. Crawford is that good.
You'll see what those body shots will do or have done. If it goes that long.
There hasn't been a moment in that he hasn't been in control. Applying pressure like a fucking G. Work your way into the fight. Go for broke, you know what I mean? I give you 1 round, I give you 2 rounds. That's what he's gotta hear, the guy. I mean, the shit he's doing is not working. Enough of the broken rhythm routine, man. Oh, you know it. You know when they're pleading, don't have no fucking advice. You know what I mean? Somebody got to throw a towel or something, you know what I mean? Not that the guy is getting murdered or anything, but, I mean, he hasn't won a second of this fight. He's getting beaten up, walking onto punches. Good for him that he can take a shot, man. He's not being competitive at all. So, if he's on the back foot the next time, man, and I was the ref, man, I would look at the guy, man. I don't know. Or at least like talk to them in the corner, something. Let the ref has to let the trainer know, man. The trainer is on his salesman shit. You know what I mean? Broken, busted pipe routine, whatever, man. Busted pipe pressure. This guy Horn is actually playing basketball, man. Stutter stepping and like hesitation moves on a crossover shit. Like he's breaking his own ankles. And one mixtape.
I think that's a very good note by you because I think it demands it at this moment.
But it also means that he's out of strategic options.
Correct. They need to will something to happen.
Yes.
They need that miracle. They need to find that magic that they found somehow late against Pacquiao. But this is
the occasional right hand he will find, you know what I mean? That probably gives him like motivation to search for that, once again, occasional right hand for the next 5 for the next 4 or 5 rounds.
And he is athletically superior.
Yes, he is. Warren having a little success right there with that double right hand. He lands it again on Crawford as Crawford leans into the line of fire with that right hand.
Good short work on the inside with that left hand from Crawford.
See, everything is all set up by the jab from Crawford.
Lead left hand from Crawford, and you just don't see Jeff Horn with that desire to come downhill every attempt as he did in rounds 1, 2, and 3.
We call that lead left hand that he threw. He threw a jab and then threw a lead left hand and followed with a jab, a change up, just like baseball.
I think spatial awareness allows Crawford actually to manhandle Horn. He just is more in tune with his balance. Consistently set, consistently turning, consistently walking back Horn. You know what I mean? He knows where he is at all times, man. Like Crawford, man, he's he also reminds me a lot of Pernell Whitaker, man. Reminds me of a bunch of fighters, and he's a mean dude, like Max Kellerman likes to say. But he's right, you know.
But Zurdo Ramirez is an outstanding super middleweight. The first Mexican to win a super middleweight.
He fights like a dude that has a lot more, that you would think has a lot more, like more of a personality outside of the ring, you know what I mean? He fights like Adrian Broner should fight. You know what I mean?
Ramirez, the junior welterweight champion. The most recent junior welterweight champion, the undisputed junior welterweight champion, is calm as could be. Look at him.
Fucking got it, Jeff. You gotta believe in ya. Bloody believe in ya.
By the way, there was so much made of the judging in the fight against Pacquiao for Jeff Horn. And then there was the review of the scores and the Pacquiao controversy that ensued. In terms of the contract for this fight, it was demanded by the Horn camp that an Australian judge would be here in Vegas, and that is the case with Adam Height. Then there is Burt Clements, the veteran, incredible U.S. judge, and the third judge is...
Man, the judges, man, they can like get themselves like some beverages or something, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's going to come down to the judges, nor is it going to come down to the referee, who's the subject of...
Run errands.
What would Robert do?
Not needed.
I think that Crawford has actually nullified that. It's not that they're not allowed to clinch and to hold. It's just that Crawford is actually...
Good for Horn, man. Through at the break. We're being kind of clinched. Unorthodox. Over the top shot. Oh. Decent right hook by Horn. The thing is, like, Horn doesn't have like the confidence, you know, to stay inside on Crawford, I believe. Crawford is too sharp. Like, skill for skill, he can't compete, so he's in and out, in and out. Tries to like sneak some shots in, maybe. In the exchanges, he's always losing, you know what I mean? So he can't go by like running combination sets on Crawford on the inside, you know what I mean? Crawford will pick him apart. Crawford thinks better. It sounds funny, but I guess he also just is better, right? He's just more skillful.
Now the right hand right there that snuck in.
Trying to be aggressive for a moment, Timmy, to your point.
Yeah, it was the right hand. He kind of lunges forward, brings his...
No change in tactics, man. It's like occasional crowding in and out movements just for the sake of it. Not really effective, man. It's not effective. Yeah. Now he's getting hit, man. Crawford has enough of this shit. It's just on, like, Crawford can turn this shit on will, you know what I mean? Like, motherfucker, you're not supposed to be in there with me. Beating the shit out of him. Body head. Beating the shit out of him right now. Like, Horn's gonna survive, but Crawford can do that whenever he wants to. But credit to Horn for staying in there, man. Oh! Knockdown. No? Man. Good on fucking Horn to stay up from that shot, man. Got clipped with, I think, a straight left hand. Right at the bell. Almost dropped. I mean, the guy is so used to being off balance, man. You know? Caught himself. Did the Matrix. Did the Richard Comey. How about Horn staying up from the punch, man?
Champ definitely in total control. Caught him with the straight left hand. Might have got the feet tangled up. No, that was a solid left hand right there.
Great chin. Horn has a great chin. I was right at the chin. Oh. Horn. Oh, Horn is too slow now. Oh, Horn defense, man. Horn's over. Yeah. Horn's getting beaten, battered, man. All over the place. He's so off balance. Oh, shit. I'm gonna shut up now. For a little bit.
But if there's no strategic alternative, it's just motivational speak.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, exactly. Young man worked hard to get the title. Let him fight it out.
Let him out. Punch and get out, man.
You never know when you're going to cash a lottery ticket, too, in this game.
That's the beauty about boxing. It only takes one punch.
He has been thoroughly dominated. He has been hurt. He has been outclassed. But all it takes is one go of it. And he's still coming forward.
That's it. It's over. It's over. We celebrated an undefeated triple count winner in New York today, and now a triple division world champ here in Vegas. Bud Crawford on top of the world. Down under, over and out. TKO victory, Crawford. There's Miss Deborah, family and friends, ready to celebrate deep into the night here in Vegas.
And it was a righteous stoppage, I thought. What did you think, champ?
Is there for absolutely. Good job by Robert Burr. There was concern from the Horn camp about the role he would play today. He was just fine, wasn't he?
I'm just going to let everybody know right now the welterweight division got a new monster in it. His name is Terence Crawford. Y'all better get to work. He is tough for anybody in the
Yo, didn't see the finish, man. Fucking good shit. Blacked out on me, you know.
You just saw Bud Crawford. Who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? They are both just awesome right now. Let's make it official. They are ready to party here in Vegas. saw Bud Crawford. Who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? They are both just awesome right now. Let's make it official. They are ready to party here in Vegas for the kid from the U.S.
Yeah.
Here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM ground.
I think I'm gonna jump off now.
Referee Robert Byrd steps in and calls a halt to the bout. The official time.
What about that Mada Santa Cruz shit?
Of round number 9, the winner by TKO victory, and now the new
Lost money, man. Lost a bunch of money.
welterweight champion of the world, Terence.
Good for Crawford, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Terence Crawford at welterweight. I said it a while ago. I said it actually when the motherfucker was fighting it. Before he really went to junior welterweight, man. When he fought Gamboa, I thought this guy can take his talents up to welterweight, man. I don't see anybody beating the guy at welterweight, basically. You know? To be fair, at the time I wasn't rating Errol Spence like I'm rating him now. You know, that Lamont Peterson win. Actually, in that fight, he showed me actually more than he showed me in the Kell Brook fight. Although I rate him also on that one, you know. But Errol Spence is probably the I think he's probably the biggest threat to Crawford. But I don't sleep on Keith Thurman also, you know. I also wanted back in the day to see Keith Thurman and Jeff Horn fight, man. But Jeff Horn has to, I guess, go back to the drawing board. Anyway, man, hey, thanks for watching. Peace out. Have a good one.
Let's go up to the ring and hear from the new welterweight champion of the world, Bernardo.
Thank you very much, Joe. Terence.